All right, well, welcome one, welcome all to the Junk Shop Library channel. This is going to be a little bit different from the content that's usually posted here. Welcome to Reusable Junk Shop, the mini-series that bears very little in common with 98% of what's on this channel otherwise. As most of the people who are going to see this know, a little over 3 years ago, I had the brilliant idea to enter a market that I wasn't entirely convinced was full. A market that needed another member. So, another white person making fun of the Bible. It's been fun, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about fish keeping. In particular, my personal decision to move from disposable to reusable filter media. This too is a completely untapped market that needs yet another middle-aged white person talking about it. I am very much aware of that. But it's something that I have a passion for, and if you don't like it, you ain't gonna watch. Ain't nobody keeping you here. Alright, so the first thing we have to talk about if we're going to talk about this is the single-use plastic problem. As someone near and dear to me and to the channel pointed out the other day when I was talking about this, just sort of off the cuff and not thinking about this, with single-use plastic-based media, where does it inevitably end up? An alarming percentage of it in the ocean. Wonderful. All right, so other than the single-use plastic problem, which I don't think I have to say any significant thing more about, we all know it's bad. It's bad for the environment, it's bad for everything. Let me give you an example, and this isn't the example I'm going to be working with when I do the demonstrations in later videos, but an example of what I'm talking about, which is some incarnation of the classic hang on the back filter. This one is gross, it's a spare, it hadn't been cleaned out. Sue me. Alright, so this is your basic internal version of the old school hang on the back filter. Okay? The water goes in through the grate, it's pumped up the column, it comes out the mouth, it passes through the single-use plastic on the way, leaving hopefully most of the detritus behind glued to this, which usually has some sort of activated carbon on the inside, and also allows most of the water through while leaving most of the impurities on this side, and then the water comes out here. Now, here's where one of the big issues with this kind of filter comes in. It's an issue of surface area and of wasted space. You look at this. Now, admittedly, there's a chunk of this that's motor. But still, this is your filter media. This is your filter. You see where that could be improved? You look at the inside of it, and then you look at what you're putting in. Room for improvement. Definite room for improvement. The other issue with something like that is that when we're talking about those little cartridge thingies, while they do remove physical impurities from the water column, they do also provide surface and food. Surface on surface area for the beneficial bacteria to grow on. The bacteria eat the waste, they produce a less toxic version that is then easier to circulate out of the water through your water changes and what have you, and some other stuff in the aquarium eats it. But then when the time comes to change your filter media, which with something like this is, you can get away with going a pretty long time because you're not going to be using this in an aquarium with much of a bio load. But then what do when you take this out? You take all those wonderful beneficial bacteria that are busy chomping away on all of your nitrite and all this, or nitrate, all this good stuff, and you throw it away. You just yeet the bacteria, and then you start all over again trying to grow a whole new colony. Now, yes, there's bacteria on the inside of the thing and the outside of the thing and the substrate and the walls and any decor you have and every other damn thing. But still, that's a significant chunk of your biome that you just threw away. So, single-use plastic, bad. Tragically inefficient use of volume in the filter. And this gets worse as you get bigger and bigger sizes of filter. The one we're going to be working on from Merlin's tank in a later video is about this big, it's about this tall, and about yay wide. And there's something in it that's one size up from these. This is a pack of 3 filter pads. It's one size up from these. Not the most efficient use of space. I should have written this down where it wouldn't go to sleep on me. Ah, yes, and bullet point 4, which I've got keyed here as high as a cat's back. This stuff is not cheap, these cartridges. This is a 6-pack of pretty basic, I mean, nothing wrong with the Aqueon brand. I have no issue. They've done well for me for years and years, and very expensive years. But 6 of these, and you're changing these out, some people say up to every week or 2. Most people say closer to every 4 to 6. Of course, it depends on what other filtration you have, what kind of bio load you're dealing with. But either way, I mean, this is like $25 to $30, this pack of 6. Yet another instance of inefficient use of a resource, like with the surface area and with the plastic and with the volume of the filterism. All right, so that's the intro. This was the video 1 of this. It's going to be a short series. Don't worry, there's going to be 3, maximum 4. I've scripted 3. If any scripted 3, if we learn anything along the way, I'll make an epilogue. You know, but I'll put this on its own playlist so you can avoid it if you don't want to do this. I'm also not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the nitrogen cycle and water parameters, because if you've made it this far into this, you already know all that stuff anyway, because you probably watch all of FishTube like nobody I know. Alright, well, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, blah, 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 blah. You're on YouTube, you know how this works. Hope to see you in the next one, and until we congregate again, everybody take care, be safe, stand against I just realized I don't know which microphone this is going in through. I really hope this picked up some sound.
Hashtag unprofessional.
Sorry.